We had 6 sessions altogether. So the first session, we had 2 speakers, Professor Sanjay Chaturvedi and Professor Chittaranjan Yagnik. Professor Chaturvedi, he deliberated on the topic inductive and or deductive, distinct, seemingly opposing, yet complementary approaches to research. Professor Chaturvedi discussed the complex relationship of inductive and deductive approaches to research in lieu of quantitative and qualitative research that are based on the changing patterns of research universe. He deliberated the intricacies of research and also how we can negotiate with existing statistical methods in our qualitative and quantitative methods so that the validity of research can be enhanced. The second speaker of the first session, Professor Chittaranjan Yagnik, he spoke on the diversity in Indians, a life course evolution, which is more of a story of Pune studies. That is his title. He expounded on the nutrition and diabetes studies in India and the evolution of life course studies in Pune, purely based on his research experience. He shared about his extensive research experience, and as such, he devised studies on different populations of India, which revealed that Indians have varying pattern of obesity and diabetes. India requires a different criteria than the Western standards. He furthermore emphasized on the importance of ethics in cohort study. The second session, we had again 2 eminent speakers, Dr. K. Thangaraj. He spoke on the molecular methods in genetic research. In his lecture, which was on molecular methods in genetic and anthropological research, he argued that variation in human genome leads to human genetic variation. And Dr. Thangaraj, he went further to explain how genetics or genomics is involved in anything, starting from the behavior of an individual to the susceptibility of infectious diseases, as well as in tracing human population history. Dr. Thangaraj explained various methods of molecular genetics like southern hybridization, RFLP, PCR, DNA sequencing, microarray, and next generation sequencing, along with their applications in understanding various research based on human genetic variations. Professor R.M. Pandey spoke on sample size determination for various research questions. Professor Pandey started with the term variation, and according to him, the more the variation in population, the more the requirement of samples. And he mentioned types of studies like quantitative and qualitative study and their strategy for sampling. He gave more emphasis on the need of scientific justification for sample size calculations in every kind of research. He did mention the prevalence of different types of error and biases in research. He focused on different types of prerequisites for understanding sample size determination, like types of variables, types of study design, summary measures, types of errors, and standard normal distribution of samples. And he cited examples and formulas for calculating sample size for different kinds of study design. Session 3, we had Dr. Mahajan, Professor Suboroy. We had these 2 brilliant speakers, Dr. Chakravarti Mahajan. He spoke about how the internet technology has established its presence in every aspect of our lives. The reliability on internet for education, shopping, finances, even for managing our relationship shows the intricate manner in which the internet has impressed upon day-to-day life. Internet has become a place where culture is being both formed and transformed. Thus, it becomes crucial for us anthropologists to explore the online domain, especially more so in these changing times. In a very enlightening lecture, Professor Suboroy, he discussed the nuances of designing an efficient questionnaire with the help of interesting and practical examples. He presented various methods of framing questions and sequencing them in a logical manner. He discussed with the participants the importance of questionnaire layouts and how to deliver them to respondents. Session 4, we had Dr. P.R. Mondal, who spoke on the importance of the study of primate behavior in anthropology from a methodological perspective. He covered all aspects of primate behavior, ranging from different types of primates, significance of studying primate behavior, primate social organization, various types of social groups, primate social relations, ways of primate communication, mother-infant relationship, and primate habitat. Dr. K.N. Saraswathy, She discussed the genetic research in anthropology, also the challenges and probable way out. She introduced various concepts of human genetics and anthropology in a very interesting manner, which can be understood by one and all. So one need not have genetics background in order to understand what ma'am was trying to deliver. And I think she did brilliantly. She talked about various challenges which anthropologists are facing, are facing, and will face. But she also emphasized on the probable solution and opportunities that human genetics and anthropology can offer in near future. Dr. Vipin Gupta, the title of his talk was Epidemiological Study Designs. He deliberated on various aspects of study design, especially in epidemiology. He elaborately discussed the strengths and weaknesses of the case control studies, community-based studies, hospital-based studies, ecological studies, longitudinal studies, cohort studies, and randomized controlled trials. The last day, the fifth session, we had Professor Joshi. He introduced ethics in research and described it as a roadmap in the progress of research. He highlighted that ethics concerns mainly with the safety of participants, or some may call it subjects or informants. Initially, researchers did not have much focus as far as ethical issues are concerned, but with the increase in cruelty towards the subjects, towards people, and increased social awareness of universal human rights, researchers inclined towards ethics. And he said an example of Tuskegee experiment in the United States or the Nazi racial policy in Germany. He underlined the fact that without proper ethics in place, researchers may become insensitive and, who knows, at times inhuman and even cruel. He then talked about the Nuremberg Code and its 10 points and the Declaration of Helsinki providing guidelines to physicians and the other research participants. He later described the use of Institutional Research Board and its guidelines, which look at ethical aspects of medical research and clearance. And he concluded his very enriching lecture by highlighting key ethical problems in the field of anthropology and social science and their possibilities and solutions. Professor V.R. Rao shared his experiences as director in charge of Anthropological Survey of India till 2009. And he elucidated and contextualized the meaning of policy and action in the field of anthropology. He discussed some of the major policy interventions that were initiated and shaped by him, including mission and the vision statement of the Anthropological Survey of India. He also talked about the declaration of facilities available with the survey as national facilities open to students and faculties, introduction of concept of PI, co-PI collaborators, and also bringing anthropological research knowledge on biocultural diversity of Indian population in public domain. He also flagged some issues to Government of India for consideration and related recommendations. Dr. Roli Mathur discussed about national framework governing ethical aspects of biomedical research in India. She started her talk by giving a brief introduction of ICMR, the apex organization in India for biomedical research. She highlighted that ICMR has been publishing guidelines on ethics since 1980s, and the latest being the 2017 guidelines. And she described about the process of guideline formulation, the committee involved, and the training programs organized at national level. She highlighted the principles behind ethics guidelines, which are autonomy of participants, beneficiary. She also outlined preamble, aim, scope. Further on, Dr. Mathur during her talk touched upon areas like informed consent, biobanking, humanitarian emergencies and disasters, ethics committee meeting, and so on. She concluded her talk by summarizing ICMR press release for biomedical and health research. And the last session was taken up by Professor V.K. Srivastav. He took two lectures. One is on fieldwork and ethnography, and another one is on writing. He started the lecture by disclaiming use of words such as respondents and informants, and rather recommending the usage of interlocutor instead. During this pandemic times, if we can contemplate on the research done so far, or how about looking for alternatives which are time bound. And also he talked about the disadvantage of phone, to gather data because it dissociate the voice from the body. And he also encouraged the young faculty or the young research scholars to try to conduct longer field work, and also endorsed that the anthropology should shed the idea of anthropocentrism, and it's not only about human beings, but he cited even Tim Ingold, who worked on the animals as well. And he also emphasized on the importance of theoretical framework in anthropology, and he elaborated on the concept of the others. And there were also many questions coming in regarding the concept of the others, which were taken up during the discussion time. As far as writing is concerned, the only thing that I want to leave was remember, recall, and revise. This is something that I would like to end his session with. So that is all as far as the summary is concerned. And I would like to tell the participants that if any one of you have missed out on any lecture, all the video lectures will be available on our YouTube channel. I'm sharing the screen. It is called Visual Anthropology DU. So the morning session, Ethics and Social Science Research, Professor P.C. Joshi is already up there. And we have all the lectures that were delivered in the previous webinars. We have edited them as a single video lecture, and they are already up there under Visual Anthropology DU. And we have ethnography films or short films made by students and made by faculty, developed by Visual Anthropology Lab. So if you want to know whether the new videos are coming in or not, you can subscribe. We also have a Facebook page, and all our live proceedings, all our workshops, they have been live streamed in this particular page. So this is something that I would like to mention. And if in case you want to know about future seminars and workshops, we have our website, antro.du.se.in. So all the notifications regarding new workshops, seminars will be up. Thank you very much for this time.